Hello my dear friends and welcome to StudyIQ. I am Joy and today in this lecture we will discuss about the National Health Authority which was recently proposed by the NITI Aayog. First of all, let us have a look at the current affair. The NITI Aayog has recently proposed the creation of a new National Health Authority. So this is proposed by the NITI Aayog. We will have a detailed discussion about what is the proposal, and also we will see what is the objective of this proposal and what are the concerns that is related to these proposals. So let us first move on to the proposal. The National Health Authority is proposed by NITI Aayog, and the purpose of creating the National Health Authority according to NITI Aayog is to administer the Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. So what is PMJAY or Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana? Let us briefly understand. The Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana is considered as the world's largest health protection scheme, and this scheme has two pillars. First one is Ayushman Bharat and second one is NHPM or the National Health Protection Mission. So these are the two pillars of Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. So first coming to Ayushman Bharat, 5 lakhs health sub-centers will be converted into health and wellness centers under the Ayushman Bharat. So creation of health and wellness centers is the objective of Ayushman Bharat, and the National Health Protection Mission provides health cover of rupees 5 lakhs per family per annum, and this will reach out to 50 crore beneficiaries. So this is in brief about Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, and if you want more details about Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, you can find a separate video on Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana on our YouTube channel StudyIQ, or you can find the link on my Facebook page. So for more details, please check the previous video. Now briefly, this is divided into two pillars, Ayushman Bharat and National Health Protection Mission. And the benefits of this scheme will be across the country for secondary and tertiary care hospitalization. So this is also important, secondary and tertiary hospitalization. And the coverage will be based on socio-economic caste census database. Private hospitals will also be a part of this scheme, and it will cover almost 1300 types of illness including cancer and heart diseases. And it will target poor, deprived, rural families and identified occupational category of urban workers families. So this is in brief about Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Now coming back to our topic, that is National Health Authority. It is proposed to administer the Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. So administration has been proposed for National Health Authority or the NHA, and this will be chaired by the Health Minister, and the administrative body will be the NITI Aayog. So this is the proposal given by the NITI Aayog, and according to the proposal of NITI Aayog, this should be an autonomous body, and initially this will be formed by an executive order. Now what is the reason this will be passed through an executive order initially? The reason is that health and public welfare or public health is a state subject. And according to Indian Constitution, when a subject or when a particular category falls under the state subject, the state has to legislate for that subject. So here, if the National Health Authority or the NHA has to be constituted, the power is for the states according to the Constitution. And if Parliament has to pass a law on this subject, 2 or more state legislatures will have to pass resolutions before the Parliament enacts a law for the constitution of NHA. This is according to Article 252 of Indian Constitution. So Article 252 of Indian Constitution provides that if Parliament wants to make a law regarding a state subject, 2 or more states will have to pass a resolution asking Parliament to make such a law. So because of this, initially NHA will be constituted by an executive order, and the NHA will report directly to the PMO or the Prime Minister's office, making the Union Health Ministry to have a little say in the Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana scheme. So the NHA will be responsible directly to the Prime Minister's office. So the role of Health Ministry will be less. So this is in brief the proposal given by NITI Aayog. Now let us understand why there is a demand for a separate authority. The reason is that there is a need for a distinct authority, and this authority should not have much government intervention, and the main purpose of this authority will be to administer the price modalities of the scheme. The Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, as we have briefly discussed about it, this will target about 10.7 crore population, and this population will be poor families, deprived families, identified occupational category of urban workers, etc. And this will be categorized through the socio-economic caste census. And currently the Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana is administered by the National Health Agency, and this National Health Agency is a registered society under the Health Ministry. But what is the problem? Health Ministry is not responsible for the day-to-day running of the scheme, but this National Health Agency, which is the administrative body of the scheme at present, comes under the Health Ministry. So basically it means that the Health Ministry does not have a say in the policy matters, but the National Health Agency comes under the Health Ministry. So there is a conflict of interest. Now let us take an example. The package rates are decided by the Directorate of General. Now for example, the package rates are decided by the Directorate General of Health Services or DGHS. But under the Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, which caters for almost 40% of the population in the country, the price setting for the targeted population will be very less. So what happens? This 40% will get a subsidized medical expenditure, and what will happen with the rest of 60%? The cost can get inflated because this 60% are not included under the scheme. Now at present the administration is done by the National Health Agency, which is under the Ministry of Health. So what is the problem? The Ministry of Health do not have a say in the policy matters, and therefore the National Health Agency will have limited powers to handle such issues. Now if a new authority, that is National Health Authority, is created, they will be directly accountable to the PMO or Prime Minister's office. So they can have better influence on the policies. So that is the reason why there is a demand for a new authority. Now what is the purpose of this NHA or National Health Authority? The National Health Authority will be an extra monitoring and supervision authority at the state administration level. So they will administer the functioning of the scheme at the state level. And also NHA will lay down uniform standards and will also frame rules that will allow free movement between different jurisdictions. Now the Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, it is a central scheme and it has to be passed to different states. So bringing uniformity in all the states will be the duty of the NHA or National Health Authority. Now another major issue in access to public health care is the migration issue. For example, a person from Bihar migrates to another state, for example Delhi. So what happens? When this person from Bihar reaches Delhi, he may not have ID proof in Delhi. So this will make him ineligible to access the public health services which are available in Delhi. And therefore, in many cases, migrant workers or migrated people are left out from access to public health care. So this issue will also be addressed by the NHA or National Health Authority. It will see that nobody is left out from access to public health services, especially the internal migrants. Also, NHA will have penal powers. That means it can take action against hospitals or public health providers if they do not adhere to the rules and regulations. And also, the NITI Aayog has proposed to form an advisory board within the NHA. The NHA will also be responsible for the negotiation with the private sector for the strategic purchase of services. Now, what is a concern that is related to NHA or National Health Authority? The role of the state governments is the most important concern here, because we have seen that health is a state subject. So, the degree of involvement and cooperation of the state governments at different states will decide the success of the scheme and also the role of NHA. So, one important function of NHA will be to ensure that the scheme, that is Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, does not purely become a central scheme, but it should ensure that there is involvement of the state government as well in the scheme. You can find the PDF of this lecture on my Facebook page, and for any queries related to your UPSC preparations, you can get in touch with me on my Facebook page, or you can email me at joyce.studyiq@gmail.com. Thank you.